Hi, JD. Good morning. Good morning, my time. I don't know what time it is. Welcome to this live. Welcome, JD. Welcome. Welcome, my Mexican sister. How are you? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Let me know. Hello, Katie. Katie Chuk series. My sister with the $1 billion husband material. When I said it, she'll start laughing. Jenny, can you hear me? Katie, can you hear me? Okay, here we can hear you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for coming on today's live. Yep, so today is a special live. I have a special guest coming on board with me. He's going to be talking about everything finance, hustle, save, investments. Please come with your questions. It's going to be an awesome time. And I just want this live just 1 hour, but very impactful. I'm very just so much knowledge and wisdom on this life. Yes, so that's what I want us to do. Yep, in a couple of minutes he's gonna join us. I just said let me come on live and welcome everybody before our special guest joins us. I'm excited about today's live. I came with my pen, with my book. I am excited. Hi Ada. How are you? Ada, have you lived in the UK? Your accent, when you're talking, honestly, I don't hear what you're talking. I'm just looking at you like, yeah, this product. I was like, baby girl for life. Ada, have you lived in the UK? Oh, our special guest is here. Hold on. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can you hear me very good?
Yep, we can hear you very good. Ada, Jenny, can you hear our host, our guest very well? You guys should let me know in the comment section. Can you guys hear him?
Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone.
Ada, okay, some people say UK, some people say US. No, you have an accent, baby girl, like you are the bomb. So I'll be here for like 5 minutes, just welcoming everybody before our special guest comes in. Ada, can you hear our guest? Please let me know in the comment section.
Good morning, okay, everyone.
Yeah, Ada say yes, he's audible. Okay, thank you so much.
That's great.
Thank you so much, Ada. Thank you. Thank you. So here is our special guest on our live today. And like I said before, he's going to be telling us deep things about money, about finance, how to manage our money properly. Yep. So I'm going to introduce him and let him have the floor while I just moderate. Today, I'm a student. Like, I'm handing over this platform to him today. I came with my pen and my book. I hope you guys came with your pen and your book and your questions ready. Like, we cannot stay by an ocean and like we feel salt in our eyes or we feel dead in our eyes. Like, let's be tapping from this world of wisdom. Thank you, Yannick, for coming. Ada is here, Jenny is here, and a lot of, please, when you come in, leave a comment so I can welcome you. So welcome our host. I call him Mr. Talbot Money. The Mr. has to be there. This one person has really that has really inspired me a lot in my career as an accountant, in my finances, even after leaving the accounting field and doing other things. It's still part of me, right? They say knowledge is never wasted. The knowledge you get at one point or another in your life, you are going to use it, you're going to need it. So he has really inspired me. I told him, I met him, he didn't even know me then. I met him when I was in Africa we call it stagiaire. Like, I was doing internship at a credit union. And can you guys imagine, in his 20s, he was already a boss. In his 20s, he was dining and whining with the big boys. Like, he used to be one of the board members in the credit union where I did my internship. And whenever they had a board meeting and they walk in, they always walk in like a convoy, you know, like those, let me give an example. You know, when you're watching those Nigerian film, right? And those big billionaires, they are going for a vacation and they come with the convoy, everybody with a suitcase, with your black jeep. That's kind of how they walk it in. And I see this young guy among these elderly people. I'm like, where did this young guy come from? How did he get here? I just kept looking at him. And today we are here, like to the glory of God. He has really inspired me. He has a Facebook page that he talks about finances. I'm going to let him say all that. He's a writer, a father, a husband, like so much more. He's going to introduce himself, talk about himself, and just so that you guys can connect with him. Hi, Versatile Meta. Welcome, welcome. So, Mr. Talbot, over to you. Take the floor. For the next 1 hour, we are yours. We are your students. We are here. We have come.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And Mirabel is making me nervous right now. I want to appreciate everyone for coming. Mirabel, thank you for all you're doing for the community. Thank you for keeping yourself out there, trying to educate with the little knowledge you know. I always say I'm the dullest man in the block. I'm the poorest man in the block because I am a student of life, first of all. I'm a student of money. I like talking about money, although there is no money on the ground. That's my regular statement. So, Mirabel said a lot of things about me. I was an accountant, started accountancy 2007, working for Cameroon Development Corporation. Those who are in based with Cameroon, Africa, and I moved back to the United States 2016. Now I'm into tech, cloud computing, and doing investment and here and there. I just like to talk about investment, about money, because one of the main reasons we immigrated, those of us who are immigrants, is because we want a better life. So there is no aspect of us immigrating to have a better life without sitting down once or twice a week to listen about the reason why we immigrated in the first place. So that's why I decided to create this Hustle, Save, Invest kind of forum to talk about money. You know, just to talk about, but let's just talk about money, talk about investment. And in that process, talk about ourselves, our relationships, first with ourselves, with God, with ourselves, and with everyone. So all those who are supporting Victorious Mirabel, thank you all, and thank you for coming today. As I said before, I know nothing about money. I just talk about it. So I'm a facilitator too as well today. So we'll just discuss if anything that I don't know, we'll go look for solutions. Yeah, that's why we exist. We'll go look for solutions. I will not be giving any financial advice on this platform, or I'm not licensed. I just talk. We just talk, like talk and talk and talk, and we look for solutions. I am a student. I am not a master. I'm a student of money. I'm a student of life. So let's have a fun ride today. Thank you all for coming. So we'll just be it's mostly will be education. If should I continue?
Yeah, okay. Before you continue, let me just welcome some people. Variety, welcome. Please, you guys share the video so that others can come in. Share on all the platforms so that others can come in and join. Yeah, I know we have a lot of time differences, but let's go. The video, others can watch later on. But when you come in, please share. Go ahead, co-host.
Okay, so what we're saying today is all of what we're talking today just for educational purposes. As I said, no financial advice will be given. Why is money important? Money is very important because first, why should we listen about money? Why should we learn about money? First is because money is not taught in school. I am a graduate of with an MBA in finance. They taught me how to manage the finances of Fortune 500 companies. Nobody taught me how to manage my own money.
That's why.
So the responsibility is on you. The responsibility is on me to go back and learn how to manage my money. Why? Because I have that responsibility of creating generational wealth.
That's true.
In the society, we always talk about trying that parents should teach their children to become good people in the society. An untrained parent cannot bring forth a trained child. Yeah. So we need to train ourselves. I'm talking, put it on my father cap now. I'm a father of three, so what I'm trying to do is to transfer this knowledge to my kids, and it's through actions. They see what I'm doing. They need to see what you're doing in order for them to do that as well. So we need to train ourselves about money, how money works. Not to be greedy, because we are custodians. We are not owners. We are custodians of those resources. So we need to understand how money works so that we can easily do our stewardship duties here on earth as good, as beautiful as we can.
That's right.
Yeah, one thing which I've realized when talking to so many people is that it is the basic things of life. We are all givers. There's nobody on earth who is greedy that he cannot give. If you don't give to your mortgage company, your house go for foreclosure. If you
That's
don't
right.
pay your rent, you kicked out of the house. If you don't pay your car note, for those who have car notes, they repossess the car. You must pay your expenses to survive, to be alive. But one thing which we've forgotten to give is giving to you, giving to me. You have to give to yourself. That's the one. If you can't take anything else, remember this: give to yourself. It boils down to relationships. Your spouse can make you happy. Your spouse can give you the flair that you need. The person in the mirror is responsible. And unfortunately, that person in the mirror is you.
That's right.
So that's why you need to build up yourself. First of all, your emotional intelligence needs to work. That's one thing most of us from our African background, we don't care about. Our mental health, our emotional intelligence, we don't. I am slim. I weigh 154 pounds, but I have a sweat day policy. I must sweat every day because of my emotional intelligence. It's critical. So that is why I say we need to learn to give to ourselves. You are important. And that's why you need to educate how to manage the money, because there is no other CEO. There's no other chief financial officer of you. You are the chief executive officer and you are the chief finance officer. So you need to educate yourself how to run that your own life as a business and as a finance, as a Fortune 500, as a Fortune 1 company, because it's you. You are in corporation. It's you. It's me. I'm saying this is true. What I'm doing, practicality that I'm doing, and that is what I'm doing. I need to focus on me. And the focus of you on you, you need to pay yourself first. I was looking at my expenses. I realized that the greatest expense that I'll be incurring is mobile money. And that goes true for most of us immigrants. Don't mind me, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm saying that you should create a budget.
Mm-hmm.
You should create a budget, because like somebody came to me and said, she was like, I need this to make this business happen. I said, okay, when do you need the money? Tomorrow. There can't be a business emergency. You want to start a business emergency, and your emergency shouldn't be my emergency. We need to create a budget in order that even our givings should be in that layer of the budget. Because if you don't, or your mortgage is due, your rent is due, you lose your job. I'm not cursing anybody, but those are normal things of life. What will you do? So you need to make a budget and plan for emergencies. And in this, while we're trying to build wealth, incomes will increase. But that's what they call Parkinson law, lifetime creep. When your income increases, your expenses as well will increase. It is not your fault. Pursue work must chop. If those of us who are understanding pidgin, so you cannot shop in the stores that you used to shop 5 years ago. The stores have to increase. Lifestyle has to increase. That's why we should be able to understand how money works so that we live in those stages per time. We may hire financial advisors, we may hire tax planners, no matter how you call it. But the decision to make is yours. Simply in our relationships, we may hire marriage counselors, health coaches, but the health coach will tell you run every day 100 miles or 10 miles a day. You have to do the running. So that is why I say you understanding how money works is critically important. The responsibility is on the woman standing in front of the mirror. It's on the man standing in front of the mirror. I am responsible. You are responsible. So I was trying to get a little bit of introduction there so that we should get our feet wet a little bit. I like talking about this stuff. um, uh, So in all these, the next step in order to flow this, I like talking about budget, and people hate to hear about budget because they think budget is to make you want to shrink, make you want to be greedy, make you want to be frugal. Yes, it's good to be frugal. Frugality is important. Frugality is trying to get the best out of your money. It's not making you in pidgin in Africa we say konto. It's not making you try to do that. No.
It's not suffocating you. It's not suffocating you.
It's not suffocating you. Frugality is frugality is, oh, I need a lap, I need to do makeup, I need to eat rice. Let me say I need to eat rice. You can go to a 5-star restaurant and eat rice. You can cook rice in your house. Rice is rice. So frugality is you eating rice in your home, spending $1, than you going to a 5-star restaurant, spending $500 to eat that same plate of rice. I remember this, we always say, a restaurant advertise their meals and say homemade recipes. It means the idea is the homemade recipe is the best. So rice is rice. I'm not saying that we shouldn't eat out. We should celebrate life. But frugality is making that right decision per time. Life is in stages. Men are in sizes. I cannot compare myself with Mirabelle. I have no money on ground, so that is how it is. So budget is, but the budget will tell you is you tell your money that go this way. You give every dollar, every pound an assignment, every CFA an assignment. People talk negative about budget, but where they work for, they have vice presidents, presidents in charge of budgets. They have data scientists, they have data analysts who are hired, a whole department hired just to make budgets. So you should have Fortune 1 company. You should have your own budget. It's simple. The best place to study now is not Harvard, it's YouTube, it's online. That's the best place. We have educational material, so there is no need to complain that, oh, how can I do this? Just turn on Google, how to make a simple household budget. It pops up. So Fortune 1 company, you are the CEO of the Fortune 1 company. You are the chief financial officer of the Fortune 1 company. So you need a budget for that Fortune 1 company. It is you incorporated. So the budget, first thing, just a snippet, your income, state tax, I'm coming, expenses, put a little bit of chopping life in it, your makeups, all the beautiful things of life that makes you happy. You need those. You need to enjoy life. But don't sing the song that if you broke, it's your business. No, it's our business. We need to don't get yourself broke trying to impress yourself. Then one important aspect which I always like to put in that budget is a personal tax. Why do I call this a personal tax? If you don't pay your state tax, your government tax, in the United States, they call it Uncle Sam, the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, will take you to jail. So you have to put your...
In Canada, we call it Canada Revenue Services. 10 years imprisonment for not paying tax.
For not paying taxes. So you need to put yourself in jail for not paying yourself that personal tax. That personal tax is money that you put aside. That I want to use this to grow wealth, not wealth for you. They say a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. I used to think about my retirement. As I said, I'm a student of money, and then I was listening to this guy, a multi-millionaire, talking about money. He said, thinking about your retirement is the first. It's pride, it's greed. You need to think above your retirement, because when you think about your retirement, your children to come, they think about their retirement. Who lives what for who? So now I'm thinking transgenerational. If I have student loans, my kids shouldn't have student loans. If I had to raise money for my first home, my kids shouldn't do that. I'm doing that structurally, getting in place, trying to see how. If there are a lot of questions you want me to pause, you let me know.
Keep going. I haven't seen any questions. Well, yeah, after a couple of minutes, around in 30 minutes time, we'll give room for questions. So okay. We have another, maybe let's just say we have another 14 minutes, and then we'll give room for questions before going to the second half of the hour. Okay, thank you very much for that. You're facilitating very well. Thank you. Thank you. After doing that, the next thing is network. If I ask this question, what is your network to the audience?
What is your net worth? How many of us have taken time to calculate our net worth? A little, if I say 10%, then I'm exaggerating. It is important at any given point in time to understand that what is your net worth. Net worth is assets minus liabilities. By that, I tend to understand that a millionaire is not somebody that makes $1 million a year. It's somebody that has a net worth of $1 million. I don't care them guys making $30,000, $40,000 a year, but once he has a net worth of $1 million, he is a millionaire. That's the definition of a millionaire. So we might be moving around looking at everyday millionaires. Titles doesn't matter. What is your net worth? How much assets are you buying? 2019, people were asking me, is it good to buy a home? I said, I won't tell you, but be your net worth. It's critically important. Fast forwarding to 2022 today, houses are going up, rents are going up. During COVID, people saw the advantages. You could go in for forbearance plans when you have a home, but your landlord will kick you out. So those are the advantages. So you need to run your numbers. Make sure when I talk about debt, I'm not talking about leverage for businesses or leverage to build income. I'm talking about personal debt, consumer debt, buying that Gucci bag on a credit card, going to Las Vegas to enjoy life on a credit card, going to Dubai on a credit card, and coming with the memories of how do I figure out how to pay that debt. I'm talking about consumer debt. We should watch out. For those of us who need credit scores, the best time to look at a credit score, start building a credit score is yesterday. My money talk is best the flavor when I'm talking to new immigrants, although they are the most difficult people to listen because they want to blow so that their friends back home should see. But the first day to start looking at your credit card, your credit score is today. Let that big purchase come and meet a wonderful credit score. Don't start looking for a good credit score when you want to make that big purchase. That's a mistake. Look at that credit score today. Look at those numbers today. Why? When you make a budget, you start tracking your expenses. Then you start making data-driven decisions. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I do this? One of the greatest things that we spend money on as well is miscellaneous expenses. When I go to dollar store, by the time I come back, it's $150. I never planned that unplanned expenses. So when so we need to understand how to do that. After budget, savings. Nobody wants to hear about savings. In our community, in our society, nobody, an average American does not have $400 in his or her saving account. Listen to this secret. This is the greatest country in the world, but an average citizen does not have $400 in his or her saving account. And when you save, it's a percentage. You're not killing yourself. Budget should be on a percentage. This goes to tithe. This goes to giving. This goes to my charity. This goes for expenses. This goes for my savings. This goes for my investment. Then you start building emergency funds. Life is full of emergencies. How do I know? As long as I breathe, I understand that anything can happen.
That's right.
Life is full of emergencies. So we need to have an emergency fund. During COVID, I saw the first week of COVID, people were lining up in front of food banks, looking for food, getting handouts, getting food. Why? Nobody thought about emergencies. That, this day will come. Many of us now, we're scared that there's inflation. We're scared that there's going to be a repeat of 2008. Sorry, I'm going back and forth, but why being scared? Why feed the fear? Go on the greatest college on earth on YouTube. Look for those who survived 2008. Study them as if you're taking the next exam, as if you're taking the next board exam, as if you're taking the next CPA exam, and understand how they did. How people used 2008 period of recessions to become millionaires. Study them. We are students of life. We are students of money. After emergency fund, insurance is critically important. When I mention insurance, people say, Tabot is trying to sell me insurance. No, I don't say anything. I just talk about money, talk about it. If your country or state says no car insurance, we used to have a car insurance. That's the question.
Before I cut you, right, you know that I have seen immigrants who will not even want to do a will. You know, when you go to open a bank account in America, they'll ask you for a will and next of kin. They'll be like, God forbid, you want to kill me? You see the kind of mentality we have. Then going into insurance, I spoke about it one of my last life. I said we do car insurance for our cars, but we will not have life insurance. You secure your car, but you don't secure your life. Like, how is that? It's like a reverse psychology. You secure a material thing, but you the possessor, you the CEO, you the owner, you don't secure your life. So it's so, just keep going. I'm really enjoying this. Like,
yeah. What I want to say is we don't secure our cars out of our own volition. We secure our cars because if you don't, the state will put you to jail. Cops will arrest you. So that's why I'm asking that if the state say it's free, will you secure that car? That $20,000 car you got, will you secure it? Will you? So we need to understand that insurance is critically important in this milieu of building wealth. Then one thing which is also important is that we people, what we do, especially immigrants, human beings, we live a work spend. Work again, we spend lifestyle, and we repeat the cycle. In Pidgin, those who understand Pidgin say work chop.
Work chop gang.
Yeah, work chop gang. So we all in that gang, right? Because we hustle, we get certification, we go to school, take student loans, get a higher job, we get titles, pharmacists, doctors, get this, we have this influencer, all that. It goes back into us trying to fit that lifestyle. Some of us realize that the highest time we made investment, highest time we had money was when we just immigrated, doing the low jobs. But as soon as money start coming in, we start feeding, we start fertilizing the lifestyle, fertilize the lifestyle. Then at the end, we multiply everything by 0. We join the masses of work, spend. We are like boxers. We go box, get our money, go to the big parties, put on our chains, put on our designers, live that life, go again, wait for the next paycheck. And at the end of the month, end of 10 years, I've been 10 years in this country. There's nothing to show. Anxiety start creeping in. So life is in stages. I always say this. Men are in sizes. I'm driving my little Hyundai. Brother maybe driving her Tesla. I don't care. I'm praying God.
We are still at Nissan. Please, we are still at Nissan Altima. That's where we are.
I'm praying God that one day I should be able to have that. So I'm driving my small Hyundai with gratitude. There, so that I shouldn't need a therapist to cure me from anxiety. All the noise we are trying to make here is that we should make all these part of behavioral, right? Because money is 80% behavioral and 10% technical. Don't say, oh, I didn't do math, I didn't do finance. No, you don't need to do math, you don't need to do finance to understand how money works. You need to learn how money works. So all we are trying to do is that we should make it behavioral. We should do it by acting. We should know it by doing. You understand? So let's make savings and investment part of our lifestyle. Before you pay your mortgage, pay yourself the personal tax first. It's critically important. Allocate them. Start small. You don't need a lot of investment knowledge to start investing. You don't need investment knowledge. You get the S&P 500, the best 500 companies in the world, and you start getting in the low-cost index fund. Start putting money there and sit and watch and learn. I was talking to a young man. He knows everything about Twitter, Musk getting Twitter. He knows everything about Facebook, about everything. I asked him, do you have a brokerage account? He said, no. Then I said my 13-year-old student who have passed through my program is far better than you. He knows nothing about that. He does not read anything about that. But he's acting. He has a brokerage account. So we need to act. We need to be part of it. So we need to set a percentage for our savings and save more for tomorrow. So that as your income increases, 10% of $100 is still 10% of $1 million.
That's true.
My daughter asked me, Daddy, when you become a million, you have $1 million, what will you do? If you have $1 million, what will you do? I smiled. I said, but what will you do? I said, nothing. She said, no, Daddy, you don't know anything. I said, okay, what will you do? She said, oh, I'll give to the poor. I'll feed the hungry. I said, do you know why I said I won't do anything? Because it's in percentages. I should be feeding the hungry now. I should be sending people to school now in my own little way. I should be able to buy a pen for a student. I should be able to take $20 off $100 and pay school fees for a child. So that when that abundance comes, I can just replicate that to do 10. Life is in phases. Men are in sizes.
Thank you so much, co-host. So we're going to go into the question session. I know somebody has asked a question, and I'm going to take other questions. Please drop your questions for the next 5 minutes. He's going to take questions, and I'm going to ask the first question. And the second question, somebody asked, what is a brokerage account? You answered that first before I ask my question. Somebody asked, from what you just said, now that everybody should have a brokerage account. So the person asked that, what is a brokerage account?
Okay, a brokerage account, if you are in a nation where you can invest in the stock market, so it's like an account where you could go in and buy stocks, buy companies of what you consume. That's just a brokerage account. We have like now they are with technology, we have mobile apps where you could get it for free and get in there. If you're in North America, I talk to some people in Europe. They have some people in Europe. If I call names, I'm not doing any advertisement. I'm not affiliated to any of them. But those in North America, those in Canada, it's just to educate yourself. Like what kind of brokerage can I have in my society? And beware of scams. You know.
So in the nutshell, brokerage account is just an account where you have little bit of shares of companies that you can buy and be part of it. So that's
correct. It's just like the US New York Stock Exchange market. You don't go to the New York Stock market physically to go get an investment. You go through a broker. You have Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. You know, then now we have Robinhood, we have Stash in the United States. So you go through them and get your investment.
But somebody said, I've never heard the term brokerage account before. Well, I know you're in Canada, do your research. There is, and a lot of Canadian companies, even not American companies, that you can get stocks through them. The iPhone, you can get a lot of stocks, like maybe 10 to 20 stocks on one brokerage account. Does that even make sense? Am I explaining properly, co-host?
Yeah, correct. If you're in Canada, Mirabel will help you do that. If you need me to get resources, I'll get you resources in Canada who will do that. There's a charge. It's $0.
Okay, so if you're in Canada or in North America and you want to learn more, at the end of the program, he's going to tell you his page, and we're going to create a forum where we can learn more and get to know more of this thing, because we can't do it on this one live, right? This is just a general information. If you're in Europe, please do your research. You have heard the term today, brokerage account. Do your research in whatever country or continent you are in and get the best knowledge and see how you can tap into it. Because they always say that instead of just being a consumer, be a shareholder, be an owner of the daily things you consume, like iPhones. You cannot have 7 iPhones in your house, your husband, your children, like 5 children have iPhone, your husband, yourself, and you don't have shares in iPhone. Like, come on now. Come on. You have Telos in your house, Telos Network, they are selling shares. Even your apartment, most apartments, they have like shares in the market that they are selling. The apartment you're renting from, you can be an owner, not just a consumer. So that's it. I will get
Mirabel, thank you for presenting my next slide.
Okay, the next I was just trying to clarify that. The next question, right? I know, okay, this is one misconception I had when I heard about pay yourself. Let me say it here so that he can throw light on it. When I first heard about pay yourself, I was like, it means I should remove 20% of my income and go do baby girl life, buy some Versace, Gucci bag. What explained in detail what it means, because that was my idea, but that's not literally what it means. It's like people, you know how we just have this impulsive lifestyle. I want to feed our lifestyle, like you said, and we'll use anything as an excuse to feed that lifestyle, as an excuse to feed that, just to back up that emotional or that impulsive buying. So explain, when you say pay yourself first, what does that mean in finances? What does that mean when it comes to growing generational wealth?
Okay, pay yourself. I mentioned about budget, right? I talked about budget, talk about expenses, talk about your makeups, then I talk about personal tax. So pay yourself first goes into that aspect of personal tax. The money you're putting aside to grow. The money you're
Not
putting
to
aside.
spend. Not to
No,
spend.
not to spend, not to if I broke about business, it's money you're putting aside to grow, it's money you're putting aside to feed. You want to grow that next egg. That's you paying yourself. It's not in the Gucci bags, it's not in the iPhone, it's not in all the lifestyle vacations. No, vacation is part of expenses, but this is money you're putting aside as an entrepreneur of the Fortune 1 company, which is you incorporated. It's your business. You are the
So
CEO, so you
my
have to
second
make that
one, when you
decision.
put this money aside, what should you just be lying there? When you say put aside, should I just
You,
put in the money and just be looking at the money?
no, you put aside, you decide where you want to put it. I said, I made sure putting it to grow. So
Okay.
you have to understand. Or there are people looking for capital to start that next online business.
Okay.
That's the money you have kept aside. You're looking for investment. Oh, I want to get into real estate.
Okay.
Instead of start looking out, getting anxiety, looking for down payment. Hey, you have been planning for since day zero for
Okay.
that. Put day zero. You're looking for money to keep. Then when tax return comes, bam, the first next day is the big vacation. We have been struggling entering Jangis, Esusus, and so on, not to raise money. Then when the big money comes, we rush in to kill it out, to spend it up. That's a big misconception. It's an error. I call it an error. I say when that big money comes, you thank God. Close your eyes, keep it aside. Look for where to make it grow.
Please bring your questions. I'm going to ask one more question while we wait for questions in the comment section. Please bring your question on finances. Bring your questions. Let's start from this one. We're not having all the time. Like it took prayer fasting to get him here. So let's
I'm,
start.
I'm ready available. Rebecca
Oh,
toss me
yeah,
here
I
and
put
there.
prayer
I'm
for
not
this.
joking
He's a
around.
busy person. I'm not saying he's not available. He's a busy person to get him to, yeah. Love and Kids were welcome. Welcome. So I have another question. Okay, you talk about the fact that budgeting is not being restrictive. It's not squeezing life out of you. It's not suffocating you. It's not making you look like you're struggling. So how do you, and you talk about something about being your mental health. Vacation is important. Eating out with friends is important. How do you plan for those? How do you incorporate these activities in your life just to have a balanced life, right? Still enjoy the chop life while on top of your financial game. How do you make that possible when it comes to budgeting?
Yeah, budget is about numbers, right? The main thing is income. That's a very good question, by the way. The main thing is you start up with your income, right? You start with your income, then you start listing the expenses. You list the expenses in order of importance. Oh, like the four most important things. If you don't have a house, you don't have where to sleep, your rent or something. You look about your energy bill and all that, right? Then you look about what transportation you need to go to work, you need to hustle, all that. You put it aside. There's eating out is normal. You have to eat out. You have to meet with friends. Put it apart as part of the budget. You have to enjoy life. You have to give life to the UE corporated that's making the money. It's important. But what we are bringing on the table today is that aspect of you having that personal tax, of you having something to lean on, or you having something as emergency fund, of you having something as savings, of you having something as an investment fund, of you start taking action of owning part of this capitalist world that we are in.
Okay.
That's just it. So there is no, it's just you having numbers that you make data-centric decisions and sticking to them. For example, I love a Tesla car, but I can't afford it. Mind you, if I take my pay stub, I go to Tesla, they're gonna give me a car.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do that, will I be able to pay the rent? Will I be able to pay my mortgage? You understand? Will I be able to take my kids to their play park? Will I be able to take myself on that, my family on that vacation? You understand? Most of the times, this is my concession. We think we'll go on vacation in out of town. vacation out of the country is that's only when we think we're going on vacation.
I like that. One of my pastor mentioned something. He said vacation is not just good. He said start from your province, start from your city, start exploring the place around you. Don't just think of boarding a flight. There are a lot of nice vacation areas around you that people are even leaving other countries to come visit that you can explore without spending much money. I like that.
Yeah, because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? It's a vacation destination. But mind you, everybody here is thinking about, oh, I want to go to Dubai. So I'm like it doesn't add up. You understand? So, but that's human being, right?
Those in Dubai are thinking of how to come to Las Vegas.
How to come to Las Vegas. So that is it. That's I'm thinking, oh, I want to go to Edmonton. So that is just how it is. It's the human nature.
So any other questions before he continue? Any other question? We have 2 more minutes for question. Any other question? Please ask your question on stock, on finances, on savings. Ask your question.
Yeah. You may just be noting the questions down. Then we come.
Hi, Josie. Welcome, Josie. Welcome. So we have a special guest. He's talking about finances. If you have a question, drop your question. He'll be sure to answer that area of struggle in your finance. If he doesn't have an answer, we'll look for an answer together. So bring those questions. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Ask the questions. If he doesn't answer pertaining to your location, at least you can give an idea of what is out there. Then you go do research on your location. If you're in Europe, what is out there when it comes to mortgage? What is out there for me when it comes to saving? What is out there when it comes to brokerage accounts and things like that, retirement saving plans. I was telling somebody the other day that you know that there are a lot of life insurance policies now with critical illnesses involved. Like your policy, part of the clause in the policy is that you have a percentage of that life insurance that goes for critical illness, which means if you fall sick, there's a policy that covers you. We're not doing GoFundMe on Facebook. You're not shaming your generation on social media because you did not plan well for your life. You're not like, well, this is 21st century. We're not doing that. So yeah, that's those questions. Please bring your questions. Continue, co-host. The floor is on you.
Thank you very much for that insight. I've learned a lot, and I always learn a lot from you and from everybody. Yeah. Let me reiterate what you said in the slide, which I said you already finished. My next slide. Why we're saying this is we're trying to diverge just from being consumers to being owners. Ownership is critically important. Consumers is somebody that just buys. You want to buy an 8, you want to get the next. You're waiting for iPhone 14 Pro Max to come out. You want to own it. You're waiting for the next Fendi, the next designer shoe to come out, the next days to come out. That's consumer. An owner is somebody that owns that. If you're living in North America, everybody can be an owner. With just $5, you start being an owner. Getting a brokerage account, start being an owner. And mind you, if you look at it critically, it's cheaper to own than to consume.
That's true.
Rolls-Royce, a used Rolls-Royce is $356,000. A Rolls-Royce stock is $1.56. So I am a part owner of Rolls-Royce company, but I can't buy a Rolls-Royce car. You understand? So somebody driving my house, the value of my house, but I own that company. When I'm seeing somebody driving Rolls-Royce, I said, man, thank you.
That's cool. Imagine you driving, I see somebody driving Rolls-Royce, you're like, thank you for putting money in my account, but you can't even afford a Rolls-Royce, but you own, but you own the company that produces that car. Like, come on now.
Yeah, so it's important. It's critically important. If you own an iPhone and you can buy a stock, but I have an iPhone, but for every iPhone I get an equivalent of Apple stock.
Yeah, before you continue, right? Do you know that I just found out one of my pastors, he buys his iPhone with the profit he makes from his iPhone stocks. He doesn't move money and buy iPhone. His investment in the Apple company is what gives him. I'm like, what?
So it's important. Thank you for that eye opener. I mean, I need to put more money.
He from his investment and gets a phone for his daughter. Yeah, that's what he does. He doesn't.
Yeah. So it shouldn't end in us just putting money in our investment account, in our savings account. If you're in North America, please open a brokerage. Bank of America will give me 0.05, like less than 50 cents a quarter for having $10,000.
In Canada, if you have less than $5,000, you are paying the bank monthly fee, $15 every month. Above $5,000, they wipe away the monthly fee, but the interest there's no interest on your money. There's no interest on your money, but your money is there. They are giving your money for credit card. They are giving your money for mortgage, and they are making 12% interest rate on your money. In
Yeah,
America,
so
they give you guys 0.02%. In Canada, no. Above 5,000, the only thing they'll do is just waive the monthly fee on your account. Below 5,000, every month they are charging you 14 point something, almost $15 for your checking account.
yeah, so if you own a stock of that bank, you have more than 10 or 20 times that. So it's just something for us to reflect and start thinking about being owners so that we can grow the generational wealth together. You understand? So I have this a little bit this story. I'm looking at the time. I don't know if we could extend it. I don't know if you guys I like talking about this. There was this friend of mine. He was leaving from a pharmacy school, and he was telling me this story that on their graduation day, his white colleague, his white classmate, the dad came, gave him a check. It contained a check for his first car. After graduation, involves getting him a house and a check for the entirety of his school. His school fee. He went to school knowing that he's owing student loan, and they gave him a check for that. What do we leave for our generation? What have our elders left for us? What have those who have migrated left? We continue with that student loan from one generation to another. So I think it's a point for us to sit back, relax, reflect, and say, no, it has to end with me. I have to start leaving something for my generation. I start with educating them. If you have kids, better time to start educating them now. Each of my child has a piggy bank. If a friend has a birthday party, they get money from their piggy bank and take to that.
Please don't piggy bank in English, in pidgin, so people don't understand.
I'll try to see how I piggy bank. Piggy bank
Illustration.
I'm trying to see how to piggy bank here, but no, they have it in their room. So it's how they call piggy bank is a bank now. I don't know how they call it in PG, so it's a bank.
Nigerians call it colo. Yeah, I know Nigerians call it colo. Yeah, that's what Nigerians.
It's getting something like this. I put the money inside.
You guys understand?
Yeah, so just like so that it's not about doing anything, but it's about making them have that behavioral. Because I mentioned earlier that money is 80% behavioral. And we learn behavioral by seeing, observing, and doing as well. So this takes us to the next most important part. If you study each and every white millionaire or every millionaire, the power of compound interest. Compound interest is the juice in all of these things that we'll be talking, because that's a magic word. What is compound interest? I'll illustrate it by me getting a credit card. I take a credit card, I go to the store, get milk, get Uber, get that, and I don't pay. Interest comes in 24%. It falls on it. I go buy again, I don't pay, it falls on it. By the time I realize that, going down the drain, 5-10 years, I'm owing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in credit card. That's the power of compounding working negatively against me. So if we reverse the situation now, we put in money, maybe you start buying one, let's say you start buying one real estate, one rental property, a single room. You get money from that. You don't take the money to feed your lifestyle. You take the money, put it back into the business. 1 or 2 years, you get a second one. You get a second one, you get a third one. That's compounding. So in building world, time is critically important. Some of us we are already entering 40s. I look like I'm in my 20s, but I'm old, you know. We are entering 40s. Time is not on our side. So the best time to start investing and start taking that action was yesterday. If you didn't start yesterday, today is still an important time for you to start taking that action. If you have a niece and nephew that is having the first paycheck or our first paycheck, there's good news. That nephew or niece, once he or she understands the power of compounding, I start putting money aside as a personal tax and putting it to grow. That niece or nephew can become a millionaire in these economies that we are fighting ourselves. The person may not be able to create or invent anything. They just put the money aside into something that works and reinvesting that, applying back the profits, allow it to grow. It takes time. It takes time. So what we have done, we have accumulated our personal tax. As I said before, we need to look for a vehicle that we need to put in. It might be the stock market, it might be real estate. You know where you are, you know the kind of things that you can be involved in. Something that works, something that is regulated. Multi-level marketing, oh, give $100, you have $500. No, an average return is 7-8%. If you study it, real estate, whatever, it gives that. So there is this snowball approach, like you put in your money, it creates like something like people call it a money machine. My money machine greatly that I use is investing in dividend stocks. I buy dividend stocks. I've been buying that since 2017, and I put it to grow. It is I put it applying by the call about dividend reinvestment. I reinvest the dividends I'm making from those dividend stocks back into the market, and I allow it to grow. My objective is that it should replace my main source of income. So when we see, we like to talk about title. So when we see that we talk, you mention your title, I'm just going to laugh because I'm sitting doing nothing. My money machine is making your income, your salary. It comes as an addition. It may start with a cent. And they used to pay when I started this 2017, that I was having my dividends was just like $1 a month. But I became addicted. It's behavioral. It goes, I automate the process. And now it is getting to thousands in dividends I'm getting every month. So time is important. You need to start where you are, start with what you have, and believe in the process. And believe in the process. Yeah, but so I've seen the question for Kuban. Now, when it comes to investment, which particular part can you advise to invest between online investment and physical investment? It's a good question, but I really don't understand what you mean by online investment. But first thing about that is what I said before, what is regulated is critically important. What is regulated? What is regulated is important. People say, oh, there is this thing coming from Singapore. In the United States, for example, if you play with the money, the federal government comes after you. So I shouldn't get my money from the United States, where it's a safe haven for investment. It's a capitalist world. I'm putting because somebody somewhere is telling me that is having 10,000% profit. No, it's no get rich quick scheme. Avoid get rich quick scheme.
Bring one, bring 5 people.
Yeah, bring 5 people. Because they avoid get rich quick schemes. What do you believe in? If you're in a society, it's not like you building your business, your own business. You have this restaurant, you're thinking, how do I want to grow this restaurant? You're putting back the money in there and get it to the second one, get it to the third one. Then you start selling your food online, having delivery people. That's just the same process. So physical investment, real estate is good. Like I started real estate, doing real estate, not by buying physical property, but investing in real estate companies, because I didn't have that money to invest in that, to start buying real estate, right? So because I wanted a juice from real estate, I wanted to have rents coming in, so it depends on where you are and what is the online investment. Because online is virtually, we're holding it made now. We hold it's online, right? It's virtual. But physically, I'm present. Mirabel can vouch me partially that, can vouch for me that, hey, I know Tabo is a rascal, but Tabo talks a lot about money, but Tabo doesn't have money. She can say that. But we are holding this meeting online. So it all depends on
what I'm going to add with that, right? If you're in that space where you feel confident about a physical investment or online investment, what I would say, because there's a lot of scam online. What I began when I began investing, I began looking at my environment. Who are those people who have registered regulated business that I can partner with? That who are looking for investors. Let's talk business. If I evaluate, I see, this business, I look at your investment, I look at your sales, I look at your profit, I look at your taxes, I realize I can invest in your business and I have a return. I'll invest in your business. You get that's you looking at it locally where you are. And as you grow in knowledge, then you invest online, because most people get scammed online because they are not really knowledgeable. They don't know how to differentiate between a regulated business online and an unregulated business. Because we Africans, we like word of mouth. Oh, my auntie said there is this, bring one, bring two, come and enter. And because your auntie said, and you are emotionally attached, you cannot say no. You want to put in your money because your auntie said, your uncle said. What do you as a person say? Like, look for your own investment, do your own research. You can meet a baba down the road. That baba has probably one machine, and you see that the baba is good at what he's doing. People queue there to shave. Meet the baba. Go there to shave. Look at what he's doing. Go there a couple of times. Look at what he's doing. Meet him like, oh, guy, I see what you're doing. I have a business proposal. Because a lot of people, I'm from Cameroon. I have a lot of people who don't even have knowledge on the business that they invest in, but they have the money. I had my uncle. He's here. The wife just got. She's in the comment section. When my uncle graduated from school, he was a food processing engineer. He did not have money to open his own company. There was a Bamleki man that had money. That Bamleki man flew my uncle to Thailand to go buy machines. He knew nothing about the machine, but he had the money. They went and bought machines. My uncle was working for him. They employed people my uncle trained. They were making money for that man. The man was paying them salary. Do you see? You must not be knowledgeable, but if you can do your research and find out. So it all depends. That's what I would say in that question. The next question, I'm gonna this is the next question. Let me see if I can. The person said, co-host, how do you know where, in what stock to invest? Answer that one, co-host.
Yeah, I mentioned before, we live in an era, we live in an information era, right? Knowing what, that's a couple of slides down, but I'll just answer that. When somebody asks me that, I always stand and ask the question back, what do you consume? What do you consume? I'll ask the third time, what do you consume? If you love Apple so much, then why don't you invest in Apple? Where do you shop from? When you think about groceries, I want to shop online. You think, something will come about Amazon around your head, right? Or if I want to get it right now, that I want to like order it right. Where do I order it right from? When I shop, what company brings my things to my house? Is it FedEx? Is it UPS?
Uber.
So what do you consume? But the main thing I'll say is the best place to start with no knowledge is looking at index funds, where you have groups of companies, mutual funds, you have group of companies pulled together, ETFs. That's why I started. It's a combo. Like you want to buy chips. One kid said I want cassava chip, the one other said I want maize chips, the other one said I want barbecue. When you go get a combo, the box of chips that has everything, every flavor. That's the best way to start. Then please, you must educate, and self-educate. It's critically important. You can't say you're an investor and you are learning nothing about money. We don't learn anything about money. We need to start learning about money. When you're back from work, you want to relax. instead of watching that YouTube Netflix movie 5 times. Put an investment something on YouTube. Get your popcorn. Sit down, relax for that 30 minutes or 1 hour. You're getting knowledge. People are out there pouring knowledge. Now I'm learning the one I'm learning now from Jews. They are the richest people in the world. I'm looking for any Jewish guy who's talking about money, any Jewish guy who's talking about money. Because you got to understand it from those who know how to do it. I'm not looking at those to come talk to you, to come talk on Mirabel show. No. It's for me incorporated. It's critically important. It's for me. Nobody cares in this world. It's me. I have to do it for me.
That's right.
We'll say sorry, oh. We'll do go for me, oh. People will put $1, oh. But it's you.
So let me mention something before he continues. So he has mentioned index fund. So note that wherever you are, wherever you are in the world, do your research on the index funds that you have around the world. So he just explains like a basket of little stocks, little shares of different companies in one package that you can buy and own, and then you can monitor them as they fluctuate, as they rise. We all know the stock markets rise and fall every day. You can monitor them and grow. So write it down. He just mentioned index fund. These are the key terms that you go do your research on. You go to look for when you're doing research on finances. So I just mentioned that so that if anybody,
your kids will not ask questions about index fund or about brokerage account, because my comic book on finance will be out in a while, in a few months. So your kids will love that, so that they could know all of these things. And you need to know them to teach your kids. That's why we need to start looking at money, looking at this investment stuff, and getting our hands dirty. We learn by doing. So thank you very much, Robert, for that, for adding flesh to my little bone, you know.
So we have 15 minutes more. Be informed. Say thanks. I have learned. Thanks. I have to do a lot of research. Yes, that's one thing he mentioned when we began, that we are being taught in school how to make money, but nobody teach us how to manage the money we make. I know there was one song when we were back in Cameroon. They say, "Forget money, no heart. Now for manage I'm heart." That song always rings in my head. Anybody can make money, but it's how to manage the money that makes the difference.
I cannot make money. You teach me how to make money.
Anybody can forget. Anybody can make money. You go push truck, you make money. You sell water, you make money. But it's how the difference is the person who grows from just selling water to owning maybe a producing factory is how well they manage, they reinvested your profits. Somebody who began selling with that same person, when they make more money, they go find side chicks, they go do human hair. They will never grow. But somebody, when they began, if they reinvested your profit, tomorrow you will see them being CEO. They'll say, that person is family, they enter society, they enter, and you go, no, nobody was there to look at the process. The people are trying to tag people on your results. You get, nobody sees the hustle behind, but people are trying to. So that's one thing that he mentioned. Be informed. We need to do a lot of research. We need to if we have to build generational wealth, we need to. There is a lot of lifestyle change. The way your mentality, the way you see money, the way you handle money, the way you go to stores and you behave. Is it everything you put? And I was talking about this issue, right? In one of my life, I said, the way we talk about this thing in our family, let's start incorporating our children. Because when you go to the grocery store, you see kids throwing tantrums, rolling on the floor from end to end. It's because they are not young. 5-year-old, 7-year-old, they understand. If they can hear yes and no, they understand. It's because we are not bringing them to this financial table. We're not carrying them along. That's why every child believes that their parents are billionaires. So when they go to the store, they want this candy, they want this yogurt. You don't buy it. It's like you're wicked. They prefer to just throw the tantrum. Let's put ourselves here. Let's disgrace ourselves outside here. You get, but when you carry them along, they understand. I give an example. I said, incorporate your children at the table. Let's make a grocery list. You will hear them. They'll say, hey, Daddy, put popsicle, or put yogurt, or put this. Then you can start explaining from there. You can start explaining to them at home that, oh, we cannot buy this popsicle. Or maybe we should buy yogurt this week. Some other time we'll buy this. That's telling them that life is not it's not a, they do not grow with that sense of entitlement. They will understand and explain to them even financially. This is what we have this week for budget for grocery, $100. So if we buy this, the money is already finished. We don't have extra money. They understand. So they won't be throwing tantrum because they know that what is in the list is what mommy has for grocery. So it's very important. Yep. So we have a couple of minutes. Bring your question as our co-host. Finish us with all this good note. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this. And we start rounding up in a couple of minutes, but we still have like 15 minutes. So let's go. Bring your questions and he will answer. Bring your questions, please.
Yeah, before we take the next batch of questions, I want Joel ask a few things here. The most question is, where do we get money to invest in? To use to invest, because I assume that we live in paycheck to paycheck, right? The answer is in us, in our numbers. When you start making your budget, you start getting that answer. You understand? What I don't want, I was telling somebody, what I don't want is for you to skip that coffee, because people always say, oh, if you don't go to Starbucks, you keep the $5, you can buy stuff. No, get the $5, the Starbucks. But what I do is, each day I go to hustle, I'm saying to myself, I'm going to hustle this day. Let me pay myself $10. Let me get myself 2 Starbucks coffee. That's $10. You understand? And if we take $10 a day, expand it to 30 days, it's $300 a month. $10 might be too heavy for you. Why not start with $5 a day? It's $150 a month. You put in that vehicle you believe in is going to work. You understand? So you got to start small. I was talking to a big friend. He said, oh, I'm investing $5,000 now. I said, no, don't do that. Start small so that we build a habit. It's critical if you build a habit. Then pay yourself each day, determine what percentage are you putting as a personal tax. Everybody can do $1 out of $10. Robert, can you do that?
Yep.
I think everybody can do $1 out of $10. So where do we get money to invest? We need to find creative ways to make more money. If you need to get our next certification, get it. Don't push it forward to the next year. Oh, now I'm working. I met one young man who was doing like home health. 5 years down the drain, I met him. He's still doing home health. I shouted at him as if he was my kid. I said, no, you say you were telling me 5 years ago that you want to become a nurse. What is stopping you? Oh, you see, girlfriend, this, that. Will always make complaints, but you got to take the action. If you want to do a certification, get it. You want to start that online beauty store. You want to do a hair like the one Mirabel is doing, start doing it today. There's no better time. That you want to do the chin, you want to do the fries, you want to start a YouTube channel, there's no better time. You want to write a book, there's no better time. So we need to start looking for ways to do that. For those in North America, know how your tax numbers work. It's important. Learn how to. Your tax preparer will prepare your taxes. You have to understand how your taxes work, because one of our greatest expenses is taxation. You don't see it because they take it before they give you a paycheck. So if you take to you automate your investment process, it's important. You need to automate your investment process so that you don't see it. It becomes as a tax before it enters your checking account. Or as it enters your checking account, it leaves, it goes back, it goes to where you want it to go. Then rounding up, we need to understand that life is full of up and downs. The market is full of up and down. It's in cycles. We are if we are not in a recession, we are in a recession right now.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, everybody was making noise about it. It's going down. It was $30,000 last time I checked. But remember, it is dumb not to be in the market, for example, because cash is king when you can use cash to send it on errands to bring forth more cash. Cash is not king sitting in your bank paying you zero. Cash is king when you can use cash at the right moment. So you need to understand how it works. For those of us who want to enter the stock market or real estate market, it will fall. 1 or 2 times in your life cycle. 2020, it went down. Now, like this, I have a little portfolio, but I'm down more than $12,000. But it's good news for me because I am an owner. I own, right? I buy them, I own, I keep them. When it goes down, it's Black Friday in the market. On Black Friday, Mirabelle goes to the store to get the beautiful things she wanted to buy on a discount. So that is how it is. It's Black Friday. Once you hold, when things go down, you use dollar cost average, you get more of it. Because you want to own. If you own your kids, when they are misbehaving, you don't push them away. You hold them. You hold them. Kings are made, millionaires are made, money is made during period of recession, during period of distresses. The market, for example, those in North America, the housing market is going up. Everybody want to buy a house. Man, get a house when it's cheap. Everybody want to buy a house. But what if it start going down? You start getting panic attacks. So why not you go now and start watching videos of how to manage houses during periods of recessions, of downturn. I was talking to one guy, he said, oh, the houses are up now. What will happen? I said, nothing will happen if it goes down. It has gone up. My house is up more than $250,000. But what has happened to me? Nothing. I've just refinanced, paying lower. If you don't want to cash out, nothing will happen. So when it goes down, nothing will still happen. Why not use
co-host? I want to ask the question, right? I know I've been following this trend of house increase, and I know I made a video on my channel talking about one of the greatest mistakes I made in 2021, and it was centered around buying a house. So this is my question, and this is my question. I want to hear your point of view about it. People are saying that we know that in finances, right? House is one of those assets that appreciate with time. Real estate is one of those assets that appreciate with time. It doesn't depreciate just like cars. So my question now is, with the rise in houses, I know we'll hear about, oh, it's the buyer's market, it's the seller's market. You get people who want to buy are panicking when it's a seller's market. People want to say are panicking when it's a buyer's market. Now I want to talk on first-time buyer, because most immigrants are always first-time buyers in the market. And when they hear the statistics, then they'll be like, oh, I'll have to wait. What do you have to say if somebody wants to buy a house? Like at this point in time, when the housing market is rising, if it's the first time, because when it's a buyer-seller's market, if you already own a house and you want to sell, or if you already own a house and you want to buy, it's something different. But if you're a first-time buyer, it's something different. What do you have to say to first-time buyers? Because I know most immigrants are always first-time buyer, and they get caught up in these buyer-sellers market kind of debate, which doesn't even it concerns them, but it doesn't affect them that much.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful question and a very difficult question, right? And it's a very it boils down to one's own particular case. I don't want to, as I said, I'm not giving any financial advice, right? I'm not giving any financial advice. But the question I'm asking, you rent it right now. Your rent probably has gone up based on the increase in the value of real estate, right? So what happens if you do like a cost benefit analysis? If you buy a house and you're spending almost the same money which you're renting, or a little bit more that you can afford, why not go in for it? Because there's no better time. Look at the interest rate as well. If the interest rate might fall, the prices might fall. If the prices fall down, the bubble burst. Now you need to learn what to do. I was telling this guy, he said, oh, this is not a better time. He's scared. I said, well, when the market fall, I'm praying for the market to fall. The market falls. It's just like you leave your house to go for foreclosures. Then we'll come now, we'll buy 1 or 2, 3, 4. We just have to keep money for down payment to get more. And now we're living in an era where people go on vacations, they go to hotels. The hotel they go now is somebody else's house.
Airbnb.
So you're sitting on a business around the house you're living in. So that's That's one way people rent out their basements for those who have basements for Airbnb, paying their mortgages, living for free, and doing whatever they're doing. And the importance of this, the beauty of this is once you get the first one, you have panic attack. But the second one, the second one, you decide.
Yeah.
Like I'm deciding that if I want to get a house this year, I'm deciding. I just need to make a decision. Because with this, I've built contacts with loan officers. I've built contacts with realtors, passionate ones, deciding to take action. You understand? So you might own the apartment complex you have in, rent it out. It all depends. Do your research, do your due diligence. Make sure you do
People
that.
are even like, let me give an idea, even housing, right? The the recent business that people are doing now, I'm giving a business tip. If you have a house, people are doing even indoor picnic hosting in
Paris, yeah.
houses.
Yeah, backyard.
That's
Yeah.
my recent business I'm doing now. I'm hosting picnic in one of my bedrooms in my house, like indoor. When it's cold here, engagement picnics and movie nights. People are doing a lot with your homes, right? Okay, before I get to the last question, that then I'll give you time to talk about your page, your book coming up, and how people can join your mentorship and other programs if you want to learn more. Please, talking about housing. If you are in North America, if you're in Canada, if you're in Europe, do your research in your area about the housing market. Don't let people scare you. Do your due diligence. Because from what I have learned in Canada, especially, the Canada housing market is different from US. The increase in house prices, right? It has been increasing for years. Even when it drops, it doesn't burst the bubble. So it's like you have a 15% increase and then it drops by 5%, which like it drops by 5%, which means it has dropped, but not as low as it is today. So if you're a first-time home buyer, do your research. Don't keep waiting because yes, it's gonna keep increasing. And when it wants to drop, maybe with the level at which it will drop, it will not even drop to the market price that you are in today, which is still an increase for you, even though it has dropped. So do your research. Hi, Tessy. Thanks for coming. Please, the last question I'm going to ask. I've said you guys ask your questions. Please ask your questions. Share. Ask your questions before our co-host goes. Please ask your questions so that he can answer. I have a last question I'm going to ask you, which pertains to immigrant. I've seen this debate online. People say, "Oh, will you own a house in Africa where you come from, or whatever country you come from, or will you buy a house where you are living as an immigrant?" What will you say? This is important. Will you own a house wherever you came from, or will you buy a house where you have migrated to, be it Europe, North America, wherever it is? What will you say?
You're giving me migraine right now.
Hi, NMSC welcome. Just give your point of, like, at the end of the day, right? We have said it here. Please, whatever you hear here, take it with a pinch of salt. Go do your research in your area. Do your research.
You're giving me migraine right now. Home is home. No place like home. That's what we always say is the beauty of it. It all depends on what we define home to be, right? It all depends on what we define home to be and the kind of economy. The first reason why did you immigrate is because we think that economies we are immigrating to are safe havens for investments. It depends on how you call home. It's my idea, right? Home is where I pay my taxes. 2, home is where I think my kids educate. 2, you understand? Personally, I believe in building. But most of the charitable things I do them back home. The kids I send to school, they're back home. You understand? But it's difficult for me to use my seed and build investment in an economy which is not a safe haven for capitalist investment, right? I believe in using the fruit of the seed. Let's say I want to be a home now. Somebody was trying to get a piece of land. It was like $12,000 for a small piece of land. I was like, hey, it used to be like 4,000. You say, oh, things have changed. Bags of cement have increased. Let's say I'll have like $100,000. What would that build where you call home? In Tico, for example, in Boya, in Lembe, for example. And that $10,000, how much houses can I close here? You understand? If you pay 5% down, it might be 5 houses. It depends. Using that as Airbnb, using that as rental average, whatever you're doing, you understand? And getting that fruit from that, and now putting the fruit to building where we call home virtually. Because I was talking to this guy, he has 5 houses, five in Cameroon. He's squatting with somebody who is squatting. Like he's renting a small room in somebody else's own, little place, right? So because he's always have that mentality, home is home. I say, get a life. You know, I try to get a life, try to get a life, right? The once you got to the life, get yourself a good place here, live happily, get some space. Then now build where you say home is. Don't build 5 houses at the end, no income is coming. You understand what I'm saying? So it all depends on what things work differently for different people. Nobody should judge me on this one. Is my thought, right? I think money can easily be replicated where I am. For me, it's easily regulated. If I buy Apple stock, I know it is regulated. If somebody jokes with that money, right? The SEC is after you. That's my mentality. Says her Jenny. As a realtor in Ontario, our vibe are clear that the market can never drop as compared to what they are expecting. I like that advice.
I like that comment. Like that
Yeah,
comment, that comment.
It sinks to what Mirabel was saying. It sinks to what Mirabel was saying. If the market, no matter how the market drops, if you don't sell, you don't lose. You understand? If you don't sell, you don't lose. If you want to buy a house for Airbnb, if it drops, the only thing that may go up maybe $200 for MPI insurance for those who are in the United States. MPI insurance. That's what may go up. Nothing else. It's just that you'll be thinking, oh, I'm losing. Oh, because now we're happy, right? Oh, the housing market is going up. I have $200,000 in my house, and so what? If you don't sell, you don't catch out, nothing has changed. You understand? So, and now if you don't use that equity to do something, nothing practically behind the scenes have changed. So the advice that the market can never drop as compared to what you are expecting is critically beautiful. It sinks to what it resonates to what Mirabel was saying. Yeah, let me read this too. Oh, Mirabel, want to read that?
He says the real estate market might have a slight correction, but the price are yet to stay. Invest when you are ready and not depend on the market rumors. Yep. When you are ready, that's it. That's the word.
That's why I said start with what you have. Start now. The best time is now. The best time is now. The best time is now. We got. Let me talk a little bit about myself. So because I when I'm talking about money, I talk about the faithfulness of God in our lives, talking about the speed of God in our lives. I'm proud to say we one of those who are rewriting the stories. Like we try to rewrite the stories of immigrants. We moved here 2016. Tourists had work authorization, moved to apartment. After that, then by let's say I work authorization 2019. In work authorization 2017, 2019, we got our first one. You understand? It's like why did I have that courage, that boldness to start doing that? It's because I came in, went to YouTube, to the greatest college on earth, listening to people. not doers, because I have no respect for somebody who has a PhD in real estate, right? And has no cannot buy a building. The best teacher is somebody that has been touching, like our sister who talked about being a realtor. She has been touching projects, helping people, not being a salesperson. I hate salespeople. Not being a salesperson, but helping people, telling you, oh, you can do this, getting with you, holding your hand, working with you, and going further. You understand? And making sure you have that house at the best rates, at the best price, everything. You understand? So doing that, many people ask, are you sure it's the right decision to buy the house 2019? And when I investigated, I realized that I needed no money down. Then I think it was a buyer's bucket or seller's bucket. I don't know those steps. Buyers were giving credit, sellers were giving credit. So the only money we spent, I say I because I'll come to that with that comment. We did that. We got the house, right? That was the first one. Going down the drain, 2021, we got the second one. Yeah, that comment from Ojo says that 2008, the market went down drastically. I mentioned earlier today that we have panic attacks thinking about 2008. But the best solution to this is to go to the college, YouTube, study how people who survived 2008 did. Not learn from those who abandoned their homes. Those who survived 2008, those who had more property during 2008. What did they do? Listen to their testimonies. The secret of men is in their stories. Listen to those stories. How they did to survive 2008. If you haven't done that, if you have real estate, you better start doing that right now. Because people are saying, oh, the stock market is crashing, Bitcoin is crashing. I never believed in Bitcoin. But when it starts crashing, I started getting in. Because that's the Jews. When it's crashing, everybody's panicking. People start releasing. Owners get in and own. Because whatever real estate market goes down to zero, you have a repeat itself. So it will have a repeat after a number of years. Yeah, it will have a repeat of itself after a certain number of years. So we need to educate ourselves. Learn 2008, what happened. One of my mentors, he was talking about the story. I listened to him a lot, Tony Robbins. He's talking about the events of 2008. Because if the stock market crashes today to zero, Tesla stock, Amazon stock rose up 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. If they are $10, I will buy a lot. Because that's the cycle. Winter will always come. Winter is part of life. Winter will always come. Winter will always come. But the beauty is that after winter, there comes spring. Everything becomes gloomy. Everything becomes gloomy. So we need to educate ourselves. My watchword today is that we need to educate ourselves. As the CEO and the CFOs of You Incorporated, educate yourself. Yeah, okay. I have a safe health journey. I think, please, Ma, you need to organize a show.
Honestly, I'm going to reach out to Safe Hair Jenny. We're going to organize another show, and we'll bring her on board to talk about real estate and things like this. Please. I feel like I'm really sorry about today. I feel like let's do this. Sabo, please put us, the Victorious family, on your program once a month, please. Let's bring people like honestly, because I feel like when we do this more, we educate our own community and we grow a lot as a community. We immigrants, we come from different parts of the world. We struggle a lot with the systems we meet wherever we move to, that we don't strive and we don't become the best version of ourselves. Please, Safe Hair, I'm gonna reach out to you like now. I've already written your name. I'm gonna reach out, and you're in Canada. Forget. Jesus. Please, let's organize a show and have you on so that we can really talk about this and educate our people on this issue.
Can everybody see the comment she had? everybody on YouTube, can they see that?
Yeah, everybody's seeing the
Okay,
comment.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm begging her that she needs to do this for us. She needs to hold a session and educate us, please. Yeah, it's quick.
Save her, please. Write in
critically
the comment
important.
section, please. I'm happy to share my experience. Thank you so much. Do you have a Instagram page that I can reach out to you? I know having your number here will not be the best. Please, how can I reach out to you so that we can have another show with you on it, so that we can talk about these things? Does co-host have a channel? Be informed. No, he has a Facebook page. I'm going to give him 5 minutes to talk about his Facebook page, his books he has written, from kids book to adults book on finances. Save her, please. Write a means in which I can reach out to you here, please. I'm begging. I am begging. So, co-host, talk about yourself, your Facebook page. How can people join your books and everything about yourself? Like this wisdom, how can we keep tapping? Because I don't just want to make it like just a monthly 2 hours thing, right? How can people reach out to you and get mentorship, maybe weekly at their own convenience, or get little posts and little word of encouragement that will help them, or ask questions to reach out to you? So now say yourself to this audience.
No, I'm not selling myself. I'm not a salesman. I'm a student money, as I said before. What I do is I call the platform Hustle Save Invest. Right, it's my way of telling my story of encouraging people to start investing. Just as Saves here just mentioned, just telling people get there, get involved, get in touch, do what you can do with what you have. Right. So in my Hustle Save Invest platform, I organize Zoom. I used to do Zoom based on 10 people, but I realized that there is the power of one, because I always talk about you incorporated is you, one person. One person need to take an action, not to give me money, but to take an action to better his or her life, right? So if I have one person, we sit, we talk. I bet you there are times people come to talk about, I'm talking about money. 90% of their questions is relationship. We just discuss, we just start talking about that. We just start talking, because at times people just talk and listen, and people have come from all walks of life, all kinds of profession, all ages. The eldest person have been a 54-year-old man, and the youngest person have been a 13-year-old boy. So we just try to, all what we're trying to do is to move emotions out of investing, move emotions out of getting real estate, that we need to understand, to tell people we need to understand. It's a face comes by hearing and hearing again and again. So we just want to make that, not that I'm an expert, I'm a student. I just talk about, just to make you know, oh, Hustle Save Invest, so that's the name of my Facebook page, Hustle Save Invest. I'm very shy, so I'm not like Mirabel, who goes out and talk. I'm very shy. I like to keep my things behind the scene. But I'm done working on the kids' book, comic book, talk about money. So your kids should be able to read and know what is a brokerage account, what is money, what is this, just definitions. And also I'm working on a book. The title is Your Hustle, Your Money. Just a simple book. It's under editorial right now. Although when it's done, it will not be in the public until next year. I'll just my friends, it will be for my friends and those who are in touch, or ship it to them. We discuss, just to make sure people have a feel of just the things we are discussing now. Nothing extraordinary, just that. So my Facebook page is Hustle Save Invest. For long I haven't posted a lot of things in there, but God is helping us. That is me. That is who I am. I like to they call it a chook skin. I like to put myself into people's things, make sure being accountability. If you need an accountability partner for your business, I'm an accountant. I'm an accountant by former profession, and we can just discuss that.
I feel like that's one thing we all have in common. We are both accountants by former profession.
There are times I get up and the first text is, "Oh, I have this business. I want to do this." I just take it as if it's mine. That's the kind of service I'm offering. I'm not selling anything. I'm not a salesman. To add to that, I sell zero.
You haven't told about your book. I know you just wrote a book. You haven't told us about your book.
Yeah, the book is editorial right now, and it's all about. It's about all the things we have discussed here, right? It's just like it's about all the things we have discussed here about money, about savings, about investments, just normal things that you know. Then critically, it centers about you. Like as I said, you incorporated is important. You need to take care of you emotionally, mentally. You need to take care of you to educate you incorporated. You are the CEO and the CFO of you incorporated, so you need to understand how money works, how real estate works, how not to panic, how to take care of yourself emotionally, you know, so that because all of that, then finally building generational wealth. We need our kids to drink from this milk, and so they too also can be able to build generational wealth. That's why every person that comes in to Las Vegas and wins $1 million, the next year is no longer a millionaire, he's begging somewhere because they don't understand how it works. So we need to be ready so that when the big bucks start coming, we're ready. We start getting into contact with our sister who is realtor to get the houses closed and getting the Airbnbs done, you know, getting this and that, looking for opportunities to grow wealth, not opportunities to showcase wealth that we don't have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, co-host. Thank everyone for coming today. Today we said this live was going to be 1 hour. Oh, so I just said I live in Las Vegas. So Julie is in Las Vegas. Oh wow.
Who is that?
So please, I will try my best. I can't promise, right? Mr. Talbot is a very busy person. I like sitting and talking about these things as immigrants. Let's grow our finances together. Let's break the system. Let's be able to settle. I always give myself an example. I'm a first generational immigrant for my family. I don't want my kids to come and go through what I went through. So how do we make that difference? How do we break into the system that we did not grow up into, which we are not used to, but still succeed and lay a good foundation? Just like he quoted a scripture that really speaks to me. The Bible says a good father or a good parent leaves inheritance for your children and your children's children. How are we steward of our money so that we can make that a reality? So thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. But thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. We have taken 1 hour, 30 minutes of your time. God bless you. I will try to bring him again. When I arrange with Safe Hair, I'll let him know. We can all three come together and talk about the real estate market, the stock market, and much more on finances. Please, if you are not in North America, you're in Europe, let this be a wake-up call. Do your research. Start working on your budget. Start working on your savings. Start incorporating your children in finances, because these things are not taught in school, like we all said before. Yeah, I love that scripture. So thank you guys for coming. Safe Hair, please. Thank you, co-host and host. Tell us, how can I reach out to you? How can I get to you? Please drop your IG handle. I want to contact you. Let's arrange for a program at your convenience, please. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you all for coming. God bless you. I hope this video encouraged you. I hope it just showed you that as a people, we can make it. The Bible says we are the head, not the tail. We are meant for success. We should not let ignorance limit us. Please, let's all come together and do this thing and break boundaries, break generational strongholds. Buy those houses our parents did not buy. They say nobody will build a house in your family. Say no. I can do it because God, he that is in me is greater than he that is against me. I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom of God. Yep. So thank you so much. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, Sister Iju. Thank you, Safe Hair Jenny. Thank you, Estelle family, Classroom Hair. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Be informed. Thank you. I hope your question was answered. Be informed. Please reach out to his Facebook page. Leave him a message on Facebook. He will reply you. He is busy. Be patient if you send him a message, but he will definitely reply you. He's not snobbish. He's not like me. I'm very bad in messages, but God is our helper. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, everyone that came. I see we are like 12 people. We are still like 12 people here. Thank you guys. God bless you all. Mr. Tabo, thank you. Thank you. We, the Victorious family, we say thank you to you. Thank you for coming. We appreciate.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's always an honor to talk about money, especially to those who are eager to listen and those who are eager to take actions to better themselves and to build a generational wealth. And Thank you to all those who are here today and to those who will be watching the videos. This is why I'm online. I'm online. YouTube, Facebook is important because people. This is gonna be for centuries to come. Your kids will watch this, and it's a good. I think it will help those who are willing to take actions. As I said, action is critically important. Knowledge without action is multiplying everything by zero. Let's get actions. Let's get a budget. Let's take actions. If we want to get a certification, let's take it. Let's get a raise. Let's build this wealth. Let's contact our sister. Get the real estate if we want to get them. Let's leave emotions out of it. Let's get behavioral. Let's not say we are not. Oh, I'm not a real estate. I don't have a degree in real estate. I can do. We have people around who are experts in that, and if not, so I'll be happy next time if our sister is coming to talk about real estate. I'll ask my lender friend who he always likes to. He's not a salesman. He likes to come talk about like helping. He helped me in my first home to talk about helping people. I like how you can do to have your loans approved and all that. Then you work. So I would like to bring him if you permit. If he is free,
We will. I
yeah.
will try. God be my helper. I'll try to do this every month. Once actually every month. I will just try to, by the help of Mr. Money, will bring in different people, different phase of life, but that pertains to finance and that can help us break through whatever sphere of finance, be it real estate, be it saving, be it investment, emergency, retirement funds, and things like that. I would really like to. I will try my best. God be my helper. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Look how excited I'm blushing. Like we did this. Thank you guys. Thank you. Like let's keep sharing. We did this. That is acceptable. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Bye guys. See you guys in our next. I'll keep you guys informed. See you in our next video. Bye everyone.
Bye.